welcome to another episode of Conversations in the Community. My name is Dania Parker-Smith, and I am your host, as well as a realtor here in London with New Vista Premier Realty. Today, we're going to be joined by a very intriguing man who has an incredible business that is third generation in our city, and I am happy to have him share his story. So welcome, Andrew Greenham.
Hey, thank you very much for having me, Dania.
You're welcome. So Andrew, tell me a little bit about the history. So your business is called Forest City Coins, and just tell me a little bit about the history of the business and how it came to be here in London.
Okay. Well, it started with my dad. He opened the shop in 1964. He's originally from Halifax, Nova Scotia, and my grandfather moved the family to London because he was in the military and always traveling around. And then my dad, he decided that, well, actually through college, he was using coins, buying coins and selling coins to kind of pay for his university. And then when they made this move to London, he decided he was going to open up a shop and do this full time. So.
And what year did you take over the business?
Oh, I don't even know. I mean, I've been working with and for my dad since I was 10 and in public school, and going on trips with him to the States or whatever coin show. And, you know, I was just keeping him company. I didn't know I was learning the business. Before I knew it, 30 years had passed, and you don't know it, but you've learned everything that I would say, I bought the business from my dad. It might have been 8 years ago, but I've been, running it for the last 15 years and involved for over 30 years for sure. Yeah.
Incredible. You have a staff of 2 besides yourself. And how are you keeping them upbeat and encouraged during this really difficult time?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, we have some difficult times that, we're not used to, or, maybe after a year of this COVID-19 being around, we're starting to become used to. But keeping the people motivated, one of my staff is dedicated to listing things online. The other one is dedicated to coming in and helping me in the shop and getting stuff also listed and also packed and shipped. So, the motivation really doesn't need to be there. I mean, it is there. It's basically, happy to help, which I'm really, really lucky that I've got good employees that enjoy the business and enjoy working with me and don't mind, doing this during these kind of troubling and difficult times. So, yeah, I have to say I'm really fortunate.
You're located right down on Richmond Street. And what do you love about that downtown core in London?
I think the thing that is greatest about downtown are the specialty shops. Like you couldn't go to a mall and find Forest City Coins there. You couldn't go to a mall and find City Lights Bookshop or the market.
If you wanted to go somewhere to eat downtown, where do you recommend we go?
Okay, well, there's a few shops. I like, and I don't know if they're open these days. That's a problem, because of restaurants and the restrictions. But during normal days, I would say La Casa.
My
La Casa is across from the market.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a wonderful, if you like Indian food, there was a place just a couple of doors away from me on Richmond. It's called it's called Bombay Bistro. But they were doing some renovations, and they're on Dundas now inside their second shop called Gup Shop. And the food is really great. And then lastly, I would say inside the market, I like the bureks. There's a vendor that makes these bureks. I don't know what to call it, but it's like little phyllo pastry filled with cheese and spinach. And
spanakopita.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah. So it's wonderful to eat. And
they're good. I've had those. I've had those from there.
Yeah, they do a good job.
Our viewers are all going to be asking the same question. You've been collecting in the collection business for 30 years, you've said. What is the most unique item that you have come across in your career?
Unique means one. So I guess the rarest item.
Yes.
The rarest item that I ever saw was a coin from New Brunswick. I think it was 1871 or 1870 or 1872. And it was a 20-cent piece from New Brunswick, and it was a pattern. And so that was a coin that was never issued. They struck, I think it was 8 or 10 or 12 of them, and then sent them to a few banks. And the banks are supposed to look at this coin and determine whether they like it and they want to order it and they want to use it as currency. And it turns out they never did create this coin that year. And so I'm looking at something that, oh, wow, I've never seen this. And in the collectibles business, if you all of a sudden come across something that you've never seen, then that usually means that it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially if you've been in it for 20 plus years, you see something that I've never seen this before.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, ding, 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 something's good about this. So that was a coin that, with maximum 12 in existence, I thought that was really neat. And so I was able to buy it. It was, if I remember correctly, I paid somewhere around $6,000. I sold it. It was supposed to be a coin worth about 10,000. And I think I sold it to another dealer for 8. So I made a couple thousand on it. So it was good to buy and sell.
My father-in-law was a coin collector, and like you said, he did it in his latter years when he fell on some hard times. He used those to pay for medical bills. He lived in the U.S., so
Okay.
and he sold them to pay for medical bills. So sometimes they are people's little rainy day fund.
Well, absolutely. I mean, people have those collections and they don't do it. I mean, sometimes it's done just for fun, but a lot of times, well, almost every time, you have to know that they're going to be sold at some point.
Yeah.
And whether it was your mom or dad or your grandparents that collected these, it doesn't mean that you have to hold them and never get rid of them.
Right.
I mean, if you can imagine you inherit a coin collection and you think it's so hard to sell because it belonged to somebody special to me. I understand that, but I also understand that, there's no obligation to keep it, because if you inherited a salt and pepper shaker collection, you don't have to keep that salt and pepper shaker collection forever. They were intended to, at some point, they're going to be sold, and you use it for whatever you need it for. I mean, I myself do that for things that I buy. Maybe you don't want to sell it right away, but when something comes up, what are you going to do? So that's what that stuff is there for, in my opinion. It's the equivalent of money. And so if you can use it sitting on your shelf behind you, or if you can use it to pay for a new porch, whatever it is, so for the people out there that have stuff and they're not sure, about the feeling that they're going to have when they sell it, I guess we need to practice non-attachment a little bit more, right? Don't get so attached to these physical things, because it's just physical things. So, we still have to go on living. We still have to eat and pay rent or whatever it happens to be. So, that's what that stuff's there for. Help us get through.
Well, thank you for that advice.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us today. I appreciate having you here. And if you have a business or you are a resident in any of the downtown or Old South area, I would love to speak with you and to feature you on our Park Bench site. Just go on our site and just click request to be interviewed, and I'd be happy to connect with you. So thank you once again, and I'll see you soon.